The Tyne Bridge. For nearly a century she stood tall, a symbol not just of Newcastle and Gateshead, but of endurance, connection and resilience. A bridge of steel and stone and of stories. But today, as she's covered in scaffolding, cloaked in the grime of nearly 100 years, we're reminded of a simple truth. Even the strongest need care. So why, in a world of ever-evolving infrastructure, do we still need the Tyne Bridge? This is Rails and Revolutions, the history that built us and the forces that shaped us. When construction began in 1925, the Tyne Bridge wasn't just an engineering marvel. It was a political and social ambition. Designed by Mott, Hay and Anderson, the same team behind the Sydney Harbour Bridge, this arch structure was meant to unify two growing cities, two distinct identities and generations of working families. Its arch was the largest in Britain at the time, 531 feet. Constructed by Dorman Long of Middlesbrough, a company that became synonymous with the North East's industrial might. Over 7,000 tonnes of steel were used, and yet for all its grandeur, it came at a human cost. Frank McCoy, 44, was crushed by a skip of excavated earth during early foundation works in 1926. Nathaniel Collins, 33, a scaffolder, fell from the top of the arch into the River Tyne just months before the bridge opened. His body was never recovered. According to one newspaper report at the time, Collins slipped while carrying a steel girder. The wind had picked up suddenly. Some say his helmet was found floating downstream the next morning. There was no compensation, no plaque, just a note in the company ledger and a family left behind. Norman Muller, 26, died in June 1928, falling 60 feet while dismantling scaffolding near the North Tower. These were the men whose names rarely appeared in headlines, but their labour and their sacrifice built the bridge that defined a region. The bridge was more than steel and bolts. During World War II, it was a vital artery for the movement of troops, supplies and everyday resilience. As the Luftwaffe targeted Newcastle's shipyards, the Tyne Bridge stood firm, a literal and symbolic lifeline. It became part of the city's survival story. Today, nearly 100 years later, the Tyne Bridge still serves over 70,000 vehicles a day. For students, it's the bridge to education. For commuters, the route to work. For visitors, the postcard view. But for everyone in the region, it's part of their identity. Yet with age, even icons need maintenance. In 1923, a major 4-year restoration effort began, the most significant since it opened. The works included steelwork and joint repairs, full repainting, drainage, upgrades and resurfacing. It's about more than preservation, it's about future-proofing the bridge for another century. The price tag? Over £41 million. But the restoration has become a political story too. Though the Department for Transport agreed to fund most of the cost, with Newcastle and Gateshead councils contributing, delays in releasing funds have triggered frustration and debate. Local MPs like Chi Onwa have accused the government of neglecting the North East, while ministers argue bureaucracy and paperwork are to blame. All the while, public patience thins. Despite the headaches, public opinion remains firmly in favour of preserving the bridge. It isn't just about infrastructure, it's heritage. Most residents see the bridge as untouchable. Over the decades, alternatives have been considered, but not as replacements. Crossings like the Red Hoo Bridge and the Tyne Tunnel have helped share the load. Transport planners now look to public transit, cycling and walking routes rather than replacement. To demolish the bridge would be unthinkable. It's a Grade 2 listed structure, historically protected. Replacing it would likely cost hundreds of millions and provoke widespread opposition. So, why do we still need the Tyne Bridge? Because it's more than a way to cross the Tyne. It's a symbol of who we are. But it represents what we can build when communities come together. It reminds us of the risks some took so others could walk safely across. And in a time of division and uncertainty, it still brings people together. The Tyne Bridge isn't perfect. She's rusted, weathered, wrapped in scaffolding, but she still stands, not just as a bridge between riverbanks, but between generations. The Tyne Bridge will always be more than just a crossing. She's the thread that binds us, yesterday, today, and into the future. If you believe these stories matter, the ones held in steel, in stone, in silence, help keep them alive. Like the video, share it with someone who's crossed that arch or stood beneath it and felt something stir. Subscribe for more stories from the places that shaped us, because heritage isn't just about preserving the past, it's about understanding how we carry it forward. And if there's a bridge, a street or forgotten corner in the North East you think we should explore, please let us know in the comments. The story of this region isn't over. It's still being written, one voice, one place, one memory at a time.